Shoot. Oh, man. What up, people? What up? What up, people? I see y'all coming on here. I'm gonna let y'all get on here a little bit before I start. Let me make sure the volume up. Is the volume okay, people? The volume good? All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all get on here before we get rolling. And my apologies. Moms and Pops is in the front room. They're watching goddamn high school, our state championships. It's on NFHS network. They found out how to stream it, blah blah blah. So they watching that. So you may hear Moms and Pops in there talking trash or whatever. So my apologies. And also I'm growing plants, so I have my music playing to get my plants and stuff going. I got like some lemon plants, some goddamn trees. I got some apples growing in there, some cucumbers, some greens, and some other stuff. So, but I always play like my music and stuff to get it going. If y'all don't know, like stuff is tuned into frequencies, so I figured out what the frequency was to play for the plants. So if y'all hear like some light little music playing, that's for my grow house. So, but yeah. So anyway, I think we ought to be all right. It's been about a minute or so. About a minute or two. It's been about a minute or two. So I hope y'all been having a wonderful Tuesday thus far. So I guess I'll jump right in. Yo, what's up, Miss Amy? Miss Amy, man, I'll get to Miss Amy a little later. That's my little friend from Minnesota. She's always her Big Mike and my other lady friend. I can't remember her name, but they would always be in a tunnel waiting for me. They have the wheelchairs, and so they'll park their little wheelchairs, and I'll go and I'll meet them, talk to them for a little bit, and then I'll head back out to the court. After warm-ups or whatever. But anyway, getting all y'all on here. We probably got more people on here than normal because y'all here for the mess. And it's so funny because we have a lot of people with a lot of like great imaginations. Thank you, Miss Amy. Mel. It's Mel, Big Mike, and Miss Amy. Those are the three that I always go meet in between warming up or whatever. But yeah, like after everything that's went on over the last 2 weeks or whatever, I kind of disconnected for a little bit, and you hear all this crazy stuff that people say, and the tea, y'all want the tea. Well, ain't really going to be much tea spilling here and really much to talk about. I'm not going over no intricate details or nothing and anything. Shout out, what up, Miss Melissa? I'm not going over a whole lot of stuff on here. I'm not, you know what I mean, I guess what y'all want to know, I'm going to answer 2 questions that I saw that I was like, this is fucking crazy, is somebody said I asked for max salary or super max or whatever. I did not. And I chose the Sparks because they're a rival of the Lynx. I did not. But just getting into whatever, it's business, people. It's business. It's literally business. Like, what happened was 2 businesses. I'm a business. The Lynx are a business. We came together. We tried to negotiate a deal, and both parties we just basically didn't come to agreements on anything. And it was just unfortunate. It was very unexpected for me because, as you all know, I've been sitting here talking to y'all. So y'all understood, like, I was hoping to go back to the Lynx. But things happen, and it really shocked me. It confused me. Like, all of the feelings that y'all had was the same feelings that I had. Like, the confusion, the frustration, disappointment, like, everything. Because I didn't even expect any of that to go. Like, I understand negotiations, but I just didn't. It went so far left for me that I was just like, whoa. I was kind of taken back by it. I'll give you an example of what I felt like. It was almost like when you get in an argument with your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever your preference is, and, someone said something in the argument and you didn't know they felt like that, or something done and you didn't know, you was like, dang, like, you would do that? And then it's like 1 or 2 ways that people react to it. either you gonna note that in the back of your mind, and then the next argument y'all have, you probably gonna bring that up. Or some people are like, oh, I didn't know you felt like that. I'm gonna pack my bag and I'm gonna get out of here. So it's basically about how I felt going into negotiation, like as negotiation went on, and the fact that I even had to, like, after 14 years, even open the door for other teams to talk. Like, 14 years, I never opened the door. People knew not to even come talk to me because I was going back to the Lynx. And so the negotiations was going so left that, you know, for me, that I had to open the door to other teams. And to my surprise, like, I'm very, you know, aware of what's going on. I'm an older player. In my last year or two, whatever I got left, So I really didn't expect a lot of teams to bite. But to my surprise, a lot of teams did bite. And LA became a front runner just on the fact that it's LA. Like, it's LA, people, first of all. The sun, the weather, the beaches, the food, the atmosphere, like, it's LA. And then you look at the roster, the team of players that they have on there, like, I'm like, oh, I mean, if I'm going to leave for something. Like, I have to make the best of the situation. And that, if you look at the team, it's like the best possible situation to possibly win a championship. Nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, but if we got a better chance than anybody with what we have, you know, off-court opportunities and many other things that LA has to offer. So it wasn't like, oh, yeah, I'm going there because, you know, Minnesota has pissed me off. Like, no. I took a lot of, like, time, effort, like, everything. Like, it took a lot of thought to go into this whole process. And to be honest, LA didn't recruit me like that. I talked to Michael and I talked to Fish like twice. Once during text and once via phone call. And that was it. And I even told them, I was like, I'm talking to you all in hopes to get in the conversation with Minnesota, like, on track or whatever. But at the end of the day, if something happened and we figure this out with Minnesota, I'm going back to Minnesota. And Michael and Fish was like, we understand, like, we know, but we just wanted to let you know that we was interested. And so, boom, there it is. And that was like the last time I talked. So everything was really basically about, my decision was based on what was going on between my conversation between me and, you know, Minnesota. And it was very, very fucking hard to deal with that. Like, that was probably the most stressful situation I've dealt with, because you're talking about 14 years. Like, what I put in my caption, like, that's the truth. Like, all of that. Like, 14 years of growth, evolving. You know, I was sitting in that gym, I was playing in that gym when wasn't nobody in that gym. Like, my mom would come to the games, and she was like, where I'm sitting? And I was like, well, you can sit in your seat. And the people at the Target Center was so nice. Like, midway through the game, they'll come up to my mom, like, you can move down closer to the court. And nobody coming in here like I was there, you know what I mean? I was there. And I waited out the ride, the rough patch, to get to the dynasty. And enjoy every moment of seeing the growth in the Lynx fans, the growth of the team. Like, the fact that we went from a team that people didn't want to come to Minnesota and play, to, like, everybody was banging on the door trying to get to Minnesota because they knew they was going to have a chance to, they knew they was going to have a chance to win a championship. Like, I never even imagined that. I knew, like, I created my vision board a long time ago, and I had that on there. Like, I won a championship. I got down, copy, paste the WNBA trophy, and I put it on my vision board. And when I first did that, it was like a long, like, that ain't happening. You know what I mean? That type of situation. And it came true. Like, it came to fruition. What I envisioned, what I put on my vision board. And I got a chance to experience that after being in Minnesota when people laugh. Like, the only good thing for me was that I won individual awards. I had great teammates. I had great teammates my entire time. And my entire time, from losing seasons through the winning season, I had great teammates that helped me grow as a person. I enjoyed the fans. I enjoyed the city. Everything. I learned a lot. And so that's why it was so hard to make that decision. But what was even harder for me is to go through, like, we had utter chaos in this house. Like, my parents was up and down. Like, to be honest, my parents thought I had already signed because I hadn't said anything. I hadn't done anything, but I was just waiting. Like, I was waiting. It's a waiting game. And so, my parents, when I told them, all right, these are the conversations I've been having, like, my parents was they was like, what? Like, they was frustrated, like, why? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on, but this is what's happening. And so my parents went back and forth about me leaving and going to LA or staying and just doing it another year. Like, my dad was really on the side of like, just stay. It's just one more year. Enjoy the fans, enjoy your teammates, and just hoop out. Like, don't even worry about it. And then, you know, as conversation went on, he would get pissed and he was like, nah, fuck it, just leave. You know, just go ahead, like, whatever's gonna make you happy. My mom, on the other hand, was very, very silent. Like, but I knew she was, like, messed up on the inside. And I'm sorry if I start crying. And I thought I was over this whole situation. But mom's had planned a whole situation. Like, she had planned this whole thing, right? Where me retiring was like they were retiring because they invested into my dreams. Like, they were invested in my dreams, right? And so her whole thing was like, man, like, we really not going to Minnesota? Like, we really not going back? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a possibility, Mom. And she had already planned like this big ass thing, yo. Like, Mom's had planned. So I'm gonna give you, because we didn't, you know, knowing that we didn't know or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Mom's had planned a second line band to come to Minnesota. Because, like I said in my caption, when she gave me to Minnesota, that was like her giving, you know, her child away. Like, all right, Minnesota, take care of my child. Do right by my child and bring her back to me whole. So now that I'm, you know, retiring or whatever, is it was like, thank you, Minnesota, for taking care of my family. Like, taking care of my daughter, helping her become the woman that she is, and bringing her back home in one piece. And so, oof, I'm so sorry. She hired a second line band because she wanted to say thank you to Minnesota. So that was what the Augustus family had planned, was to say thank you. So Mom's playing a second line band to come up. I don't know what game, what time, whatever. We was gonna figure that out once everything was etched in stone. Mom's playing the second line band to come up to give you a taste of Louisiana. We was gonna Mardi Gras. We was gonna do all this stuff around the Target Center and have a good time, right? Then she planned for us to have a goddamn taste of Louisiana. So we had family members, friends, everybody who can cook a Louisiana dish was coming up there, and we was gonna cook a shit ton of food. Everything that we eat down here, we was gonna eat it up there. Gumbo, crawfish, etouffee, jambalaya. We was gonna do all of that, and it was gonna be for everybody. It was gonna be for the fans. It was gonna be for the team. It was gonna first come, first serve. Whoever was gonna get it was gonna get it. We also had planned to go to the Simpson House, which is a homeless shelter in Minnesota, where D-Rob had been volunteering, and she had been I had been going with her to volunteer, and normally we would just go for dinner, and churches and all those people would be there, you know, fixing the food, and then we'll help serve the food. Well, we decided one night we was gonna serve one night, and so we did a Louisiana themed night for the homeless shelter, and the people loved it. I'm talking about, we saw these people smiling, they were happy, like, they came back for seconds and thirds, like, they damn near didn't even want us to leave. And so we spoke to the director and asked her when could we come and do some other stuff. She was like, you know, everybody do dinner, but no one really does breakfast. So maybe y'all could do breakfast. She was like, it's a smaller crowd of people that come in the morning, you know, the homeless people that come in the morning, and we normally just feed them cereal and stuff like that. So maybe y'all can come in then. And so moms being moms had planned a whole situation to cook grits, eggs, bacon, biscuits. I mean, we was gonna do the whole to do, you know, for the homeless shelter there, for the Simpson House, who we been doing. I was also planning a bus tour for all my fans, whoever. It could have been people on here, people here in Louisiana. I was just gonna post it. People sign up. You just arrive here when the bus pull off. We was pulling off and we was going to Dallas or Atlanta well, initially, whatever games was close to Louisiana. So Dallas or Atlanta would have been one of the two games. And then we was going to take a trip to Minnesota. Like, everybody was going to take a trip to Minnesota. I don't know if it was going to be on a bus or we was just going to get together and do a party. But her idea was, like, people just share like, Moan stories. And, you know, when she was from high school, if you remember me from there, college or pros or, you know, whatever it is. It was like a big kumbaya, but we was all going to be on the bus and just, well, not we, but, you know, she was going to be on there with the people that she did this bus tour with or whatever. And it was many other things. That was just a few of the things. So, obviously, she took it very hard. Like, she took it very hard. Because she was invested. Like, she was invested. She was like, shit, we going out with a bang. And we're going to let Minnesota know that we thank you. Like, we're thankful for the time you spent there and everything they done for us. And so, this is what it's going to be. And when I saw my mom cry about this situation, ew, baby. I don't know if it really was anything that could, like, the feeling that I felt, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it really bothered me. It really bothered me. You know, it really, like, bothered me to see my mother cry because the little story on my mom didn't introduce me to the game. My dad did, but my mom was there when I played my first game. And I remember playing my first game, and I cried because we lost. My mom like, what you crying about? And I'm like, Mom, like, we lost. And she was like, you don't cry about no loss. She was like, you don't cry about a loss in life. You don't cry about a loss in basketball. You don't cry about losing a girlfriend, a boyfriend, nothing. Like, she was like, nothing that you lose is worth crying over. She was like, you only cry about the joyous things that happen in life. Somebody getting married, a birth of a child, you winning a championship, you getting a promotion on your job, like whatever it is, there's so many other good things that you can cry about than crying about a loss. So if y'all been following me, you know, if y'all been following me, I only cried when we won championships because that's what my mom instilled in me. So to see my mama cry over some basketball and something that I deemed, this is just me and I'm just talking, unnecessary. It didn't have to be, you know what I mean, like frustrating and all that. Like to see her frustrated over something because all she really wanted to do was go out with a bang. It's like, I don't know. I think I just read somebody say, yeah, you see your mama cry, you about to be about ready to and that's how I felt. So you understand how I feel. Like anybody on here, if you see your mama cry over something like your dreams, you will feel the same. You will feel the same way. And so, even up until the last hour that I signed them papers, you know, my dad was just like, go, you know, just go back, just don't worry about it, you know. And he looked at me and he, you know, a parent knows their child. A parent knows their child. He knew. He was like, you just can't do it. I say, my heart won't let me. My heart won't let me. My heart will not. I have to honor my feelings. I have to honor my fucking feelings. And my heart would not let me. And I love my teammate. And that was the hardest thing, too. I call each and every last one of them, the ones that I can get in contact with, I called them to let them know before the information hit, you know, because I didn't want them to be blindsided by no foolery. So, you know, having to call, oh, excuse me. Oh, fuck. It's been 2 weeks and I'm still fucking crying. You know, have to call Nafisa and be like, yo, Fee, I'm probably not going to come back. And having to hear her say, like, Mom, I thought we was going to play together. Like, I was super excited about playing with you on your last year, da-da-da-da. Like, having to call Lexi. Like, Lexi was like my little protege. Lexi, you know, I'll shoot the ball, you know, all that. Like, she like, Mom, like, what I'm going to do? I'm like, you still going to shoot the ball. You know, I just won't be there. I'll, you know, obviously watch. I'm a WNBA fan, so I'm going to be watching the games and stuff. I'm going to text you. Yo, you should have shot this. You should have did that. It's still all love. Karima. Me and Karima, you know, shared some very hard times together. Like, we went through rehab. Neither one of us knew we were going to have surgery. Like, neither one of us. And to have to go through another surgery and rehab, like, it was, you know what I mean? To have to go through that, you needed somebody to hang on. And Karima came through every time. I would come through for her every time. She'll come by the house and just sit there with me. And I'm like, Rima, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Mama, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Food got us through it too. Rima mama would cook this amazing chicken for us, some chicken and plantains and all this stuff. Like food, Rima, good conversation and food got me and Rima through a lot of tough times. Seal, like all of y'all know, you know what I mean? Like the history me and Seal have. So to have to make those phone calls was like so fucking hard. Like, so I don't want people to be thinking like, why, you know, why is it so hard? You know, you did. This shit wasn't hard. I mean, this shit wasn't easy. I'm sorry. This shit wasn't easy at all. Like, I fucking had to really like think about it. Like, I really had to sit in my feelings. I really had to like go through this whole process. And I'm, you know, some part of me is still confused. Some part of me is still like a little bit frustrated. But, you know, life goes on. You know, when things happen, it happens for a reason. And there's always something good on the other side. What is it? I don't know. Unknown is very scary. I don't care. For a lot of people, fear is scary. Like fear. That's as a whole. That holds a lot of people back from doing something that they dreamed of doing, like fear, the unknown. But I also can't, like I said, I can't not honor my feelings and everything. So, yeah, that was like the spill on the whole like Minnesota thing. Like it was just mainly business, and it took me 14 years to experience business. You know, it took me 14 years to have to experience business. And I see the people on here like, well, Minnesota offered more money than L.A. I took less money to go to L.A. Minnesota offered more money than L.A. because I just could not get over my feelings. It was never about the money. It's just about the way you engage with people, you know, especially someone you spent so much time, like, you know, so much time with. It's just, it wasn't about that. So I took less money to go to L.A. And I just couldn't shake that feeling. And then my grandma used to always say this, like this one little line, and I'm quite sure y'all probably heard it too. She was like, all money isn't good money. And when I was younger, I would always be like, Grandma, I don't want to hear that. When I was going overseas, I'm making good money or whatever, make my contracts, like whatever. I'm like, Grandma, I don't want to hear that. Like, I'm going to make my money. And it wasn't until my last few years overseas where I was like just, you know, chasing the money because I know it was my last few years overseas, and I started having the bad experiences. Not the teams or the organizations. It was the coaches overseas that was bad. Like my last year was like very bad with the coach that I had, and I was just like, I understood then what my grandmother was telling, like what she was saying. And then it rang true in like this situation. I could have easily, like, if I wanted money or whatever, I could have went back to Minnesota and got some money. But it wasn't about the money, you know what I mean? And my grandma's like that little quote, that little statement rang true, like, all money isn't good money. If it's gonna disturb your peace, if that makes sense for people, like if it's gonna disturb your peace, it's not worth it. Like, for some people it is. Some people put up with a whole lot of foolery for money. And for you, I applaud you. Do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? But for me and maybe some others, I'd rather be happy. I'd rather be at peace. I'd rather, you know, feel, you know, be at peace with whatever my situation is than anything. So that was it. As far as LA was amazing. You know, like I said, I only talked to Fish and Michael twice, but the conversation that we had, it felt open, it felt honest, it felt right, it felt real. You know what I mean? It felt right and it felt real. We didn't really have much to honestly talk about. I had to get over my fears and my worries and my concerns because I'm like, man, because I feel just like y'all, Lynx fans and everybody else on here, like, I've been competing against these girls for the last few years. Like, we've had some very hard rivalries, especially in 16, 17. I don't even know if LA really considers us a rivalry, but we've had some very tough WNBA final series with them. And you just naturally build up something against them because it's like you playing against them. You trying to win championships against these people. And so they ain't never done me. Nobody on that team's ever done me nothing other than compete against me. So it was like weird to even consider having to oh, I might be playing with this, the Sparks, who we've just in 17 just was playing them for a championship, going to 5 games. You know what I mean? Like, man, like I don't have no problem with Candace, but me and Candace been competing against each other since like college. So we had like built in like rivalry. That's just it. Like, you're like, damn. Now you gotta switch gears. Like, that's about to be my teammate. So, we gotta, I had to get over that. I had nothing to do with the Sparks or nothing like that. Like, I had to get over the thought of being able to play with them. But it's a great opportunity in front of me. For this team, obviously, it'll be team chemistry is key. How well we mesh together in training camp, preseason, and even the first, even in the first few games. It's gonna take a little bit of adjustment and time for people to get to know each other. This is all new for everybody. So, with the new additions, like Christy's back, so that adds another vet and a player that they're used to. But Gulich, Brittany Sykes, myself, and some other new players. Like, we got to get adjusted to the way LA, runs their system, their practices, like a whole lot of stuff. We got to get used to the city. We got to, with all that. And let me tell you something, LA fans, y'all have been amazing. I've had so much love from y'all, and Minnesota, both of y'all, Minnesota fans. Thank you. Y'all have shown so much love, and you never know how much good you're doing in the world. Like, I don't know a lot of shit that I do, and I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be talking to y'all, like answering y'all questions, but I'm going on my rant today. Like, you never know how much good you do in the world. Like, I engage with people the way they engage with me. I interact with people, you know what I mean, like that. And so it was a lot of people that reached out to me, social media, text me if they had my number or got my number some kind of way, whatever, and was just like, man, I'm just thankful for the chance to have gotten to meet you. And, I remember, like, people was telling me stories that it didn't even click to me. Like, the stuff that people, like, it was near and dear to them. Like, I remember you shook my